Okay, we are back, and let me put my microphone back. There we are. Okay, I need to turn this down a little bit. Hopefully the music wasn't too loud for you guys. Okay. We are back, and if you want to see more haircut escapades, I have a video coming out about the last time I cut my hair for charity, also related to live stream. And that video will be coming out on my YouTube channel in about 2 weeks or less. So, yeah, hopefully keep a weather eye out for that, and hopefully that'll frick. Could have planned for how much hair was gonna get on my desk a little better. Didn't even think of that possibility. Good enough. And now we can get into it. And now I need to change the stream topic. Minecraft. Christmas time. Modded. Multiplayer. Boom. Done. Fixed it. Okay. Now everything is set up and wonderful. Thank you all for sticking around for the haircutting. I realize that this is a fair bit different, but I appreciate you sticking around anyhow. And let's just fix this. Huh. And I can also change I think I can also change the cropping on this. Okay, where's my filters? Edit filters. Top will take another... Oh. There we go. Okay. Brilliant. They won't be expecting that. Ta-da! Okay. Now, our first donation milestone is achieved. The next one is... What even is it? I was just looking at it, and I already forgot. Hey. Yes, you. Play colonization as Spain. Ooh, that is a rough one. I do dislike that. Why? Am I getting echo? Is that just me? Is it from the water bottle? It's from the water bottle. Ladies and gentlemen, the echo of the water bottle. Right. So the next one, $250 raised total. I will play colonization as Spain. And let me tell you, playing colonization as Spain will be the exact same as playing Spain, except without the S. Oh. So, let's get there. You seem to enjoy my pain. Hurry up. Hurry up. Make me play as Spain. Anyways, some things have happened since last we were here. I don't actually remember where I left things off last time. Last time I actually showed you this, because I have really been enjoying playing Minecraft. Also, gotta be polite. Should have done that sooner, probably. That's okay. We'll take a snooze, and then I'll make sure that you guys see everything that's been going on. Okay, so yes, got some cactus. That was exciting. I think all the rest you've seen. Oh, except we have animals now. That's very exciting. Hello, Chester. Evelyn Chester. I have been upgrading a lot of the buildings, including the builder's hut here, which is now level 3. Very exciting. The courier's hut, I believe, still level 1. I think you would have seen that last time. This one, the tavern, still level 1. Warehouse, still level 1. I think that was there last time. Town hall, level 2. That, the level might be new. Looks very fancy. Doesn't do very much. This lady needs some tool. Okay, I thought she needed some tool. I guess she doesn't. A person over this way. Hello? Callum? Are you okay, Callum? Callum? Oh, you have influenza. Oh, no, you're just hungry. Oh, well. So, look, Callum, here's the deal, Callum. I may have forgotten to make food for you. So just give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. The other thing is you may notice at the top of the screen that the blue borders extend a lot further than they did, because I have made a concerted effort to expand them by spamming guard towers everywhere. That's literally what I've just been doing. I just go to the edge of my borders, put down a guard tower, have them build it, boom. Border gets expanded. I did some reading up. I found out that upgrading from level 1 to level 2 is actually super great because it gets you a whole extra chunk level for not that much material, which is wonderful. Upgrading from level 3, from 2 to 3, is not worth it though. Because you still have the same chunk level. So it has a 2 chunk border, then a 3 chunk border, then from 2 to 3 it stays at 3 chunks, and it's only at level 4 and 5 that you get chunk border size increases again, which is unfortunate. But it does mean that I don't have to build very much, because you just build level 1, which is pretty easy, and then level 2 is also very easy on these guard towers. Except for that Caledonia one, which is a little more intensive, but it's also larger. Right, food. We were here for food. I have bread. I have bread for you, Callum. Enjoy bread. At least he doesn't have influenza. I appreciate that. I will work on it. Inventory. There you go. Eat bread. The rice is mine. Okay, yes. So, as I was saying with the guard towers, we have... This one is a Caledonia style. Caledonia alternative, I believe. And this one's the only one at level 2. What's wrong with you?
I'll get to build it again?
Yeah. You have influenza. Sure. Well, I don't have carrots and potatoes on me right now. I'll get them for you in a second. So yeah, I upgraded this one to level 2. This one is definitely going to be permanent. It's going to stay there until, like, everything, until the world disappears, pretty much, is the idea. I think Endermen are just leaving random dirt all over the place here, which is very annoying. This one is level 2. This one will probably stay and be permanent. We got the fish The fish are here. The university is claimed. CJ built this one. It's a big ol' mining thing that goes right the way down to bedrock, I believe. He explained his reasoning behind it. I don't necessarily understand all of that reasoning super well. Oh, in fact, is he on? He is indeed. And we have the same number of deaths. That's super cool. CJ? CJ. Oh, CJ. Hello, Badger. Badger, 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 Badger. I don't even know what that song actually is. I just know that it exists, and really only that part of it. Everything else is a blur. Or not even like a blur, I just have no knowledge of it. Well, CJ's in there somewhere. We've also done some more create and... what's that one? Immersive engineering. We've done some more of those. So I think we had this coke oven last time, and we had this alloy kiln last time. Oh. This isn't doing anything. Quick. Get that operational again. We've got this improved blast furnace now. Very exciting stuff. Over here is our crushing setup. Oh, that's exciting. Last time I was signed on, for some reason the texture wasn't working, and instead of showing that as a bucket, which it is a bucket, it showed it as a fish. So that was kind of awkward. But hey, super cool. Super cool that that's working now. And basically, we have the crusher here, which falls into this hopper, which goes into the chest, which, oh boy, somebody has done some crushing. And then some, apparently. And then we have the fans over here that we can use to wash, or, using that bucket, we can actually grab out the water, put it back down there, and grab the lava there, and put it where the water is now. And then we can use it to blast, or smelt, whatever the technical term for using lava and fans to cook things is. Which is super exciting, because then we don't require fuel. And I always love it when I don't have to waste fuel. It does, however, mean that we have a lot of extra flint. Which doesn't have a ton of uses for us yet, but we're planning on turning that into andesite. Are you serious? Frick. Oh, it's a pillager. Stuck in the water. Frick. Huh. I see. Of course. Eels and pillagers. Not a good mix. Especially for a knight who can't shoot. Shoot. I paid good resources to hire her. That is very irritating. Do I have a bow or anything like that? It does sound like there's at least one more. It's a really odd place for them to spawn as well. So that's unfortunate. Not sure where she got the wheat from. How much to shave an eyebrow? I have a job interview on Monday, so what's the next donation milestone? You know, tell you what, $500. $500 and I'll shave an eyebrow. Just imagining if somebody was like, yeah, that's a reasonable price. Oh my word. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, now I actually have to check. Shoot. Because I don't think you've donated $500. But I'll check. I'll check. I'll humor you. While my Chrome is booting up. Oh, yikes, the lag. The lag. Okay, Tiltify. Let's check out what the Tiltify tab has to say about things. Sign in. Okay, very good. We're signing in. Aha. You thought you could pull a fast one on me, did ya? Did ya now? Not on my watch. Not on my watch. We do our due diligence here. Yikes. Oh my word. And now there's pirates. Of course. Of course. Northeast. It says northeast, but it's always very vague with what constitutes north, east, northeast, you know, that jazz. So basically anywhere from over there to over here could count. Ah, there. All the colonists are safely tucked away. Very cool, thank you, Kanye. And there's those scallywags, those buccaneers, those scurvy dogs. And what we'll just go ahead and do is just the fast route, make sure we have... Ow, why did he hit so hard? Where's my rice? There's my rice, quickly. The rice! The rice shall save us. Oh, there we go. No, you won't. You'll be dead. Actually, you're already dead. No, will be. Are. You are dead. And soon your friends will be too. You also will not be back. I tell you what will happen, though. You're gonna go home and die. Well, actually, you're not gonna go home. You're just gonna die. And, then I'm gonna take all of your stuff. It's gonna be a good time. You know? Thanks for showing up. Your stuff is mine. They always have the exact same stuff, which is disappointing. Nice. 64 nuggets exactly. Very cool. Very gamer. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. See ya. And let that be a lesson to you. And then we go back to our crushing wheel / washing station. Make sure that we didn't leave anything behind, because that is totally a thing that I would do. And then I'll continue showing you around the town to make sure that you got everything. Okay, it appears I have not left anything unattended. Very excellent. It may have already despawned, which would be less excellent, but hey. If that's the case, c'est la vie, I suppose. Can't win them all. Okay, so I showed you this. I showed you this area. We got our cobblestone generator. That was going before. I think this was running before, but I'm not sure. If it wasn't, it's here now. We have a crushing station. You've already seen it. We also wash it. Super cool. And then over this way, so I built that guard tower and upgraded it, the one by the fishing hut. And then I built this one and upgraded it. And that one gave me enough territory to build these universities. And I say universities, plural, not singular. Yeah, because they're gonna look super cool in pairs. Do I have my build tool on me? Yeah. Here, I should be able to show you. It's gonna be a little bit messy, but... this is what they'll look like when they're max level. Obviously, I'm gonna flatten this area out front out as a square, and we'll put the library right next to it. That'll be super cool. And then you can see that they just merge into this one super long, very cool building. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that and how that's gonna look, because I think it's gonna look dope. Now, of course, we do need to figure out a housing situation for them, for the people who are gonna run the university, and also, you know, we have to figure out what the heck we're gonna do with this, because we can't destroy it just yet, I think. I don't think that'll work, but hey, maybe. And yeah, that'll be super cool. Right now it just looks like this. We do need to figure out a housing situation for it, though. We're gonna have the library right over here. I'll see if I can... there we go. That gives you an idea of what it'll look like. So we'll have this big tower over here. It'll merge into this whole complex. And then we'll have the library over here. That'll be super cool. Yeah, it'll be rad. And then over this way, we have... we have right over there another guard tower, which is covering this whole sector, I believe. And yeah, that does an excellent job of that. And that one will probably also stay. I think we'll have a bridge that goes here, and then we'll have like a pass-through. So it'll be like one of those cool towers that sort of sits on top of like a thing, and then you can walk right through it, but you can also climb up it as well. I think that'll be pretty cool. We have our farm over here, and our lazy farmer. Oh, you have influenza. Okay, that's understandable. More understandable now, I guess. And what else have we got? Nothing out this way so far. Future forestry hut. And I'm out of rice. Joy. Guess we need to head back to the cooking station for more rice. And I have planned out the area more. We're probably going to have a train line that runs right around here. That'll be super cool. In the distant future, of course. And yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. So I think next priority is probably to build and staff those universities, because I gotta get some research going. Desperately need some research right now. We got a thunderstorm. Very cool. Right. Rice. Rice, rice, baby. Rice, rice, baby, indeed. We are producing iron. We are producing all that jazz. I think we have all of our flint in here. Ooh, flint tiles. Curious, curious. Looks good. Oh my word. I realize it's not cuttable. It's because I didn't intend to cut it. You fool. I have a feeling I'm just gonna keep eating rice for like forever. I wish you could take rice and seaweed and make like onigiri, so that way I wouldn't have to get rid of the bowl if I passed it off to my villagers. Because they just eat the bowl. They don't just eat the rice, they eat the bowl as well. How? Why? Nobody knows, but they do. Onion. Huh. Weird. Weird. Weird, very weird. Okay, let's cure some influenza, and then we can focus on getting some housing down. Seems reasonable enough to me. Hello. The food you have is too raw to eat. Okay, well. Would you like some onions? Apparently you would. You've been a child for literally forever. Not sure what's wrong with you. I guess puberty just isn't a thing. Okay, he was just hungry. Ooh, a bakery. I should probably make a bakery. It's not a bad idea. You have influenza because of course you do. I will work on it. There's that one. There's that one. Boom, done. Okay, what do we actually need for the bakery? A wheat. A singular wheat. Oh, darn. If only there weren't such a plentiful supply of wheat directly next to me. Okay, good. You're curing yourself of influenza. That's what I like to see. Hi. The food you have is too raw to eat. Shut up. So rude to my villagers, I guess. I could probably chill a little more with them. Especially the children, who contribute nothing, by the way. They just sit here and mooch off of the rest of us law-abiding citizens. Oh yeah, I forget the scroll wheel doesn't work on this one, so you only have scroll lock, which is super annoying. Especially because my scroll wheel is broken. I mean, it's not like entirely broken, but it doesn't work right. Just pretty annoying. But hey, I'm too cheap to replace it, so it is partly my fault as well. And we'll grab one house. Sure, a builder's hut too. Sure. Sure. We'll grab 2 houses. Why not? Why not, right? And then we're gonna have to focus on finding more people to hire, because our city is growing in terms of buildings, but not in terms of citizens, because children are useless, right? So I have them turned off. Actually, we want to do the bakery first. Yes. Shoes. Hope they fit. I hope they fit. Please help me tie them for you. Ring, ring, ring. We have all the things we need to make it work. Give up even though I know it hurts. Use the build tool, of course. Level 5. Always level 5. I cannot see where I am. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is how wide that road will be. And that does not work. At least I don't think it does. No, no, it does not. Yeah, that really doesn't work. One of these days, I'm gonna find a building that's narrow enough. Or else I'm just gonna make my own. But we will cancel that for now. Let's just try the... Just want to see what these are going to look at level 5. So there will be like a kind of little alley between these 2 buildings. Okay. So we can potentially make use of that. Maybe let's see what the building looks like first. Ah, cool. You can see the whole square. Level 5. So this is the regular dark oak. Pretty cool. Right, there's not actually stairs there. Okay, okay. And how does the alternate look? Oh, gotta say, that is a nice look. That is classy. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going with the alternate. Which does seem like it might be a little narrower. So, you know, maybe let's take the chance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Definitely 100% conflict. But hey, it looks good. Dang. Sheesh. That looks good. Yup. I will not deny that. That looks spiffy. That looks spiffy. What happens if we park it on the side here? Use build tool, level 5. Alternate. That's the wrong direction. Okay, so it doesn't really have a corner wraparound or anything, so I think it doesn't make sense to include it on the side there. It does make sense for us to take a little snooze, because we don't want any of our villagers to die, especially now that we don't have any guards to protect them, which, bit of a yikes. Okay. So now we gotta figure out where we want to put this bakery. And honestly, maybe along the side of this warehouse would be a good place. Use build tool. Level 5, of course. Always level 5. We can go as much as that. Dark oak alternate, baby. Ooh. Okay, there we go. So where is the road here? Okay, so right now it's 2 blocks from where the road will start. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there. So that's where we have plot. We go again. Okay, and do this for now. We can always drop it down for building it. We're gonna fall into the tar pit. And you know, honestly, neither of these sides are particularly attractive, but hey, it's just a theory, a game theory. No, it isn't. It's a opinion, not even a theory. Does this side look more attractive from the street? Good, that's still good. So honestly, not having some kind of thing that goes around the corner is a missed opportunity with this one. Although aside from that, it would be an excellent place. Yeah. That is unfortunate. So yeah, I guess we just won't put that there. Where else could this go? Because I feel like this is in general, an area that it makes sense to have some stuff, you know? And a bakery feels like a thing that would belong sort of more towards the center of town here. Is there maybe room for like a back alley behind some of these buildings? That could be potentially interesting. Okay. Okay, this could maybe work. And that would be an interesting frontage, at least, on the canal. Alternate, level 5. Okay, so that is the closest it can be for that building, which doesn't leave a whole lot of wiggle room. And I think there's overlap in this building. Let me guess. Yup. Okay, so that is not going to work. A potentially interesting idea, but yeah, it's just not going to work. C'est la vie. Sometimes that's how it goes. I should really plan out that railroad corridor a little more in detail. That might help. So I do feel like that is somewhat limiting what I'm able to do. Okay, we might have enough space. Yeah. Over here. Right next to the farm as well. I don't know if... I think I want to save this for a little more agricultural. Ooh, maybe. Here's the thought. You know who likes bread that is cheap but also delicious? Students. University students. Where better to have a bakery than right next to university students who are looking for trendy yet affordable bakeries? You know, good thinking, chat. Well done. I'm putting this idea all on you, just because I said so, and I can't. I'm the one who can decide to do that or not. And I'm deciding that, actually, yes, this is your idea now. Enjoy it while you can. Okay, let's start by leveling this out. So I believe that's the level we want it at. Let's go ahead and we'll just overlap it a bit. And make sure. Hey, huzzah. Okay, so that is in fact the level that we wanted at. Now the question is, whereabouts here do we want it? So we got our two big universities here. Okay, so there's the fence right there. Yeesh. One, two, three. And this is facing the wrong direction. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is the distance it has to be. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We'll make it an even 20. So we got to go 20 back from this position, but not before getting it in line with the ground level. Now it is in line with what will be ground level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we'll go check and make sure that that lines up. Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we can put this closer towards the end of the square. So what I'll do is, yeah. This way, if we decide to keep the guard tower, we can keep it as part of the square, basically. There's that actual center. Okay, and... oh, the pirates finally left. And I think it makes sense to put some houses nearby as well. So you know what? We'll put a house directly next to the bakery. That seems like a good place to put one. But we will sleep first. Okay, here we go. Okay, this music is a little bit weird. I definitely put it on this playlist for some reason. Now this is the classic. Yeah, that's right. Get wrecked. I am concerned that there's not a builder shown here. So I'm afraid Scarlet Gupta might have died, which would really suck. Frick. Frick. Oh my word. We are almost out of people. Shoot. I need to go on like a hiring spree. Let's also have another child. I think just one more. Settings, kids will be born. On. And then wait. Wait. Child, yay, settings, off. And it's a Barton, very good, very good. Barton is excellent. What's her first name? River Barton. She's wonderful. She's such an effective builder. I love her. She's wonderful. I wish these stupid kids would hurry up and grow up. Like, how much more do you need? Let me guess, you're still hungry. Because you're always hungry. Francisco. How are your stats, Francisco? Very mediocre. Well, I suppose that's to be expected. You are a child, even if you are River's child. Actually, what's your family tree like? Who's your dad? Where'd he go? Okay, he's running over there. I'll grab some bread for... whatever. Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Yep, that one. Frickin' Elizabeth. Hurry up and grow, Elizabeth. I need workers, not children. The food you have is too raw to eat. Okay, well, you always say that, so... eat your bread. Hey, Callum. Good lad. Can you not sit in the same block? Can you not, like, occupy the same space? That would be really handy, please. Your adaptability sucks. And adaptability is, like, the most needed score. Hello?
Get to build it again?
Your adaptability sucks, too. I mean, they're not awful adaptability scores, but they ain't great either. Hey, Francisco. Family. Oh! The Bartons and the Guptas. Ah. Elizabeth is your sister. Okay, well, hopefully you're more useful than Elizabeth. Frickin' Elizabeth. Noah Greville. Oh. He was the original OG builder. He was great. You know, the Guptas have united all of our best builders into one family. Mr. Ray G. Gupta, you may be pretty useless. No, you're not that useless. But you're kind of useless. But I can appreciate that, you know, at least you married all of the builders. We'll hire her as a builder in the other builder. Yeah, Noah was an effective builder. And then I think Ray's sister, Scarlett, I think they were siblings. Scarlett was a great builder. Although Ray may have been Scarlett's child. I don't actually recall. Scarlett also took forever to grow up, which was super annoying. Oh my word, she's down so many materials. Rick. Supplied 34%? What? Okay, I'm gonna check the warehouse, because I swear, it was not that bad earlier. Also, this looks like way more than 34%. But hey, what do I know? I suppose part of it is 34% of what's remaining, maybe? Dark oak fence, dark oak sign. Shoot. Campfire, though. Okay, don't actually need the gray bed. Is there? Yeah, there we go. Dark oak stairs. Of course, we never have enough dark oak stairs. I'm gonna check the other builder's hut as well. No required resources, but hey. Maybe there's some down here. There's some stairs. There's some of that, some of that. That's a lot of scoria. Don't really have a use for scoria right now, but that's pretty cool, I guess. Okay, nothing in there, nothing back here. So we need 23 more. That. You know, who is your family, Callum? Unknown. Interesting. Callum is the start of a new dynasty that will probably intermarry with the Guptas. Because everyone seems to intermarry with the Guptas. Seven more and one fence. There we go. And a fence. Surely somewhere I have a fence, right? Surely. Surely.
Not good enough, eh?
Fence, oak ladder.
Get to build it again?
Not sure why you're not working. There's the ladder. There's the fence. Boom. Ah, perfect timing. You know, I'll just hand deliver it to her. Gotta make sure that she gets it, you know?
It's your gold.
Athletics and strength are good, but adaptability is what I need right now. Especially since I've lost a builder. She is not here yet. River? 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 Francisco? Oh, River is there. Not sure why she's taking so long. But hey. There's Elizabeth. There's Callum. River? Hello, River. I know you're in
I
here.
get to build it again?
Let me just go ahead and pop that in there, pop that in there. Okay, River. You're good to go. Get a move on. Some people, man. Recall worker. Oh, there you are. Hey, River. Could you kindly get to work, please? And thank you. Thanks. Okay, so there's actually a patch right in there that's unlit. Should probably go ahead and light that up. You have a few extra torches on hand. Let's see if I can. Wow, that is not useful. Extremely unhelpful, actually. Just go ahead and spam some torches in here. And now I'm out of torches. Very cool. Thank you, Kanye. So now she should get back to work on this eventually. Please? Please get back to work on that. Okay. Hopefully that works now. Says she's working on it. Okay, River. River? River? Hey, there we go. Now she's started work. So let's hopefully see her walk out over here. Speaking of universities, though, why don't we have a peek at what a university actually needs? Manage workers. Mana and knowledge, for which it appears the Guptas and extended Guptas are... Oh my word, River. River! I stand corrected. I was about to say the rivers and extended rivers, which would have included river, or the Guptas and extended Guptas, which would have included river, are pretty useless. But as it turns out, River is still the MVP. River, I don't know how you got to be such a champ, but once you're done building things, I might just have to get you, you know, researching things. Because you're just too cool, apparently. Not sure what happened to my other notepad. Is unfortunate, but hey. Cool. So that's super dope. And I have gotten lost. Oh, no. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. Okay, River? You okay, River? Let me guess. She's going to want to chop down everything that's been done before. And therefore she needs an axe. Nope. Oh, actually, she's walking over here right now. Okay. River, I can't believe I doubted you. I never should have. You know, every time I think that, you know, things are going to be mediocre, okay, or anything less than perfect, River shows up and she's like, hey, yo, I am here. Allow me to solve every problem you may have. Oh, what do you need, River?
I get to build
You
it
need an
again?
axe. You are gonna chop down the entire structure that already exists, aren't you? Frick off, zombie. Die. No, stay away from River. She's too valuable. Stay away from River. She must be protected at all costs. I wish that was a thing that I could just set to protect. I have a feeling she's going to need rather a lot of axes, so I'm just going to make her 4. Because, yeah, I think she's going to chop down the whole thing and then build it back up. Which is very annoying. Okay, River, I know I said you were the MVP, but, that's not the way to get into your
I
house.
serve with pleasure.
Okay, there you go. There's your axes. Enjoy. Chop chop. Literally. Let's go.
Not good enough, eh?
The only thing that's not good enough is apparently your work ethic. Everything else about you is perfect, River. It's just your work ethic that I have problems with. Because once you do the job, oh, baby, you are the best. But you spend a lot of time lazing around not getting the job done, which I do not appreciate. While we wait for her to laze around, see, now you're finally here to start your shift, and the day's about to end. Ah, River. You're great. I love you. Oh man, I'm gonna have to guard her the whole way back. Where'd you go? Okay, you're over there already. I realize the university is pretty far from everything else, but, yeah. You could maybe show a little urgency. That would be greatly appreciated. Next time, yeah, you know? You know how it is. You know how these things are, River. Nice. I should actually repair this bridge at some point. You're going to sleep, right? River? Eh? Okay, River can teleport too, you know? Why not? She really is the MVP. Shoot, and since I lost my other notepad, I Yeah. So, researcher is knowledge and mana. Builder is athletics and adaptability. There we go. What an atmospheric song for this town. Okay, Elizabeth. Are you ever planning to hit puberty? Hey, your hunger is good. There's no guards, there's no kids in school. You're getting sleep, that's good. I know your housing is not particularly high level. So, yeah, you ever planning to grow up? Francisco, you know, you may not be the MVP that your mom was, but mom is, I should say. But hey, okay, not responding. Very cool. Thank you, Kanye. How about you, Callum? Your stat... Oh, you got decent knowledge, at least. I'll give you that.
Not good enough, eh?
Yeah. You got good strength. Terrible knowledge. Terrible adapt... Well, not terrible.
I get to
But not
build
good.
again?
Good adaptability. Okay. Good athletics. Okay. And you wanted... Right, 7 diamonds. Your knowledge and mana are nothing to sneeze at. They're not fantastic, but they're okay as well. But it was 7 diamonds, was it?
I serve with
Man.
pleasure.
Okay, let's take a look-see and... Okay, so we don't have them there. Don't have any in there. Don't have any in there. She's good, but is she... You know what? We're gonna do it. That's how desperate we are. River cannot be our only builder. Where is she? She's in here, isn't she? Was that Gibbs?
Not good enough, eh?
Yes. Hello? Okay. Alyssa Gibbs. You. As a druid? No! Never become druids! Druids are the worst. Frick off. Where did you even become a druid at? X108? $11.08, sorry. I have a feeling that's this one then. Yeah, that's definitely this one. Okay, this one should never hire anybody. Manual. 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 No druids. Druids are the worst, and this is not a particularly useful outpost to start with. I think I will set manage workers on this one to default and default, and also the one by the university. That seems prudent to me. Okay, yes. No druids. Ah, use 32%. Okay. Maybe she didn't have to chop everything out apart. Which, great. I love it when my workers don't have to chop all of the work that they did earlier. Oh yes, it's really annoying, but sometimes it just doesn't show you what things look like next to each other. Okay, and we definitely want this as a citizen right now. Okay, so how large is this square exactly? Okay, so it starts here. And it ends here. So right at this gap. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, or 59, which is quite wide. So if we were making this a square, let's see how large that would be. So 58. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Which seems a bit extreme to me. And I think, did I only get to 48? Either way, way too big. So let's not make it a square. But do let us sleep. Okay, River is safe and in her home, it looks like. All colonists tucked into bed. That's what I love to see. Frick off, eel. Oh, frick. We have a drowned. We have a drowned situation. Nice, and we got a drowned head. Hopper. And there's my rice. So yeah, since 58 isn't gonna work as a street, as a square size, maybe let's do a little bit of math and find out what factors 58 has. Although I should check whether it's 58 or 59. Because maybe it would be good to do like a 2-to-1 or a 3-4 or, you know, some kind of pleasant ratio, you know. I also didn't realize that TJ had this monstrosity. Like, I know he loves to dig holes, but nice hole.
Thank you. The idea is that this, here, let me explain. Basically, the idea is this chassis here will slide along, and each block it'll come by and mine all of this down to bedrock, slice at a time. I just need to, like, dig out the initial space for it. There's better ways of doing this, but this is what we have resources for now. Or at least this is what I have brain power and we have resources for.
Dope. Okay, I'm gonna keep building buildings.
Alright, see you.
Right, we were going to check if it was 58 or 59. Okay, so it is 58. Okay, so that has some advantages, because 58 is, of course, divisible by 2, which is 29. 29 might be prime. It's not divisible by 7. Is it divisible by 13? Nope. 29 by... No, definitely not 11. 29 by... not 2, not 4, not 8, not 6, not 3, no, not 9. So that is unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. What about 59? Is 59 divisible by anything? 59 divide by 7. I think 59 is prime. It's not divisible by 2 or 3, therefore not 4. It's not divisible by 5, not divisible by 6. Did I try 7? Yes. Yeah, that is unfortunate. So, we can use 58 though. That is acceptable. Yes, perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Shoot, I don't have a shovel. So we'll just do this. And that'll give us a better idea. Oh, actually, that works really nicely, because that is basically right where this is. And then we have a 2x1 rectangle, basically. So it's 2 this direction, 1 this direction. Lovely. I like that. I like that. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense to just go ahead and use the build tool. Actually, we'll reject. Use build tool, of course. Actually, maybe it did make sense to sort of preload this. Now we can actually see where this is. Nice. Now that is sneaky. I approve. Okay, and then what we do is we do this using the build tool. Oop. Or this using the build tool, not decorations, but builder. Sure. Wooden level 5. Ah. Okay, so maybe not so ideal. So that's where the door is. Hey, huzzah! University complete. So actually, I do need a researcher really badly. So yes, we'll have her researching, and that means we should probably actually
Good enough, eh?
set research. Sorry, no, I need your workstation right now. Research. So we got stamina, which unlocks the hospital. Very cool. Keen unlocks the library, but we don't have enough house levels. First aid increases citizen HP. Ambition unlocks the mystical site. Pretty cool. Remembrance unlocks the graveyard. Requires 8 bones. Honestly, all of those are pretty good. Technology, right. Am I able to do any technology right now? No. No. No, we are not. Combat. If we had iron, that would be super cool. So many guard tower levels. Guards need 500% less sleep. 500% less? Sheesh. Honestly, I feel like the civilian ones are better to start on. Oh, come on. Scroll out. This is the thing, like, it just doesn't read scrolling in and out correctly. Do we do first aid first, or remembrance actually might be nice. The graveyard, so that way we can have a chance to resurrect. Stamina would be good too. You know, that costs... no, let's do first aid. Get 2 HP, then we can unlock... Because, yeah, that 2 HP could be big. And I'm being chased by a spider. That's super cool. Dumb spider, can't catch me when I go through a one-hole gap in the tree. Tried to harmonize there, that did not work. Go for a little nap. Is there not a crafting table in here? There is not. That is annoying. How many was it? 8? Frick. Oh. I actually didn't want to take that boat, but thank you. I appreciate the offer. Civilian. One research in progress. Excellent. And River is right there working on it. Well done, River. You're the best. No, builder. Citizen. Yes, level 5. Yes. Let's just take a look at what wooden looks like. Oh. Not gonna lie, that's kind of picturesque. I kinda dig it. You know, sometimes you go for the harmony, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So that leaves a little bit of a gap, but we can always find some way of filling that. Maybe put some kind of little street nook, something. But you know, I think that looks pretty good, so let's go ahead with that. And we'll get Lady on this. Build options. Builder. Alyssa. Build building. And she's going to require a bunch of materials, and she's going to want us to chop it all down. All that jazz. But I think what we might be able to do is, I think River has a bunch of axes in her inventory.
I get
Hey,
to
River.
build it again?
Inventory. Oh, you have a single axe. You know, that's something. And there's nothing in the university inventory. Well, that's cool, I guess. And then we'll just clear out all the trees for her, because they would seem to struggle with that. Oh boy. And you know, we may as well chop down more of these trees as well. We can. May as well. So I'll just grab some flint. Do we have any gravel going? We do not. Let's change that. Just wait for it to flinterize. Actually, we'll take the whole lot. We're gonna wait anyhow. May as well wait for the whole batch, you know? Nice. I think that's the whole batch converted. Nice. Now we can make some more axes. Ah, Alyssa probably wants a shovel, among other things. A shovel, a pickaxe, you know, that whole song and dance. Actually wanting the tools for the job. Back in my day, that's just what we called lazy. Nice. That is an awful lot of wood. But I am more than happy to have. Oh, frick off. That's it. Fall down a hole. Oh dear. Poor CJ. Slain by zombie in the prime of his life. It's a sad thing. Actually, while we're here, may as well get some more rice. Never fill up on too much rice. Oh my word, we're running out of rice. Oh no! Good thing we're growing more. Yep. Just go ahead and grab that. Grab that. These should both be clear now. Clear for the shoveling work, that is. Because I assume that Alyssa here, well, her laziness is at least partially the result of that. It's not so much laziness as not being equipped for the job. Okay, Alyssa. I see how it is.
Not good enough, eh?
You need a hoe. Of course, a hoe. Of course you need a hoe. You know what? Just for you, Alyssa. Here's a hoe.
I get to build it again?
Now, get to work! I'll get you some more tools, though. But I do happen to know that you are going to need
Good
at
enough,
least
eh?
one shovel. Probably a pickaxe or two. And you know, I'll throw in an axe for good measure. And apparently we need oak wood for this one. Well, okay, if you insist. You know, your word is my command. Ugh. Go ahead and grab that. Okay. It's already 12. My word, how time flies. Nice. Let me give you a bit of a restock there, you know? We'll spam some torches later. Nice. Good work, Alyssa. I almost called her Allison. Can you imagine if we could set their names? The fun we would have. Good work, Alyssa. Good work. Well done. That's what I like to see. Love it when my workers are hard at work. Nice. Okay. Okay, so we do have another builder's hut and another house. Pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe what we do is just out of curiosity, use the build tool. Level 5 it, of course. Definitely an alternate, I think. Because the alternate has sort of that corner style, but it also has... Here we go. It has this, sort of the open courtyard, which is pretty cool, gotta say. I think that works out rather nicely, perhaps. in this specific area. Because this will probably end up being sort of right on the edge of the square. So we'll bump it up one, match the rest of the square. Then what we do is we check. No. No. Bad. Very bad. You stay down in that hole and you die. That's your task. And it seems like me assigning you that task has not actually been super helpful. It seems like you are willfully disobeying the task I assigned you, Skeleton. And I don't appreciate this insubordination. I will have you know. When I give you instructions, I expect them to be followed. And the fact that you are not is most frustrating to me. And severely hindering our work effort. So if you could, in future, really improve on that, I would really appreciate it. I told you to stay in the hole. I realized, my bad. I didn't tell you not to shoot me. I should have clarified. I don't appreciate it when you shoot me either. In fact, I really do not appreciate it whatsoever. So in future, if you could just, not. Well, I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter now because you're dead. But in future, for future reference, if by chance you were ever to be anything other than dead again, we've all been there. We've all been there, you know how it is. Yeah. Okay, I'll try.
So you don't have to be silent.
Yeah. Does CJ want matching hair? Ooh, good question. W person. Sorry, W person? Thanks for the follow, but sorry. And this bears repeating. W person. I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, what? How am I supposed to respond to that? Like, what does that mean? I'm so confused. I mean, like, there's nothing to apologize for. It's just, I don't understand. I'm very bewildered. Like, what, does the W stand for something? It means I'm a W person. Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that terminology whatsoever. Win? I'm a win person? Okay. Sure. Amazing. There we go. Okay. Now I understand. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I just don't understand it. Didn't understand it. Now I understand. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Have yourself a lovely evening. Hey, thanks. Hey, Alyssa. Good work. Keep it up. Well done. Accurate. Well, maybe not really good at math. I'm only good at math, you know? I mean, like, yeah, probably in the top 5% of humanity, statistically speaking, but that's not that good at math. You know? I suppose it does depend which math you're talking about, because some math I am good at. But, you know, calculus, calculus I can usually do without. Most of calculus. The thing is, like, I don't like doing actual calculus, but I like doing the stuff that calculus allows me to do, basically. Even in that. Oh, that is accidentally perfect. That is what we call providence. Providence, happenstance, good fortune, whatever you want to call it. Providence is the word I use for it. But, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful coincidence. Keep up the good work, Alyssa. You're doing great. Digging random patterns and holes. Speaking of, you require resources, don't you? Andesite, chest, coarse dirt, cobble slabs, bunch of... Oh. Oak. Look at the positive communication going on here. So much positivity. Everybody just complimenting each other. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being wonderful to each other. It's what we love to see. Your sister almost took a bite out of her COVID test instead of her toast. Also...
Sorry, I was playing a YouTube video. I didn't hear that.
Your sister almost took a bite out of her COVID test instead of her toast.
Excellent, excellent.
Speaking of your spicy toast, since it is you, when you say spicy toast, what kind of toppings are on there that make it spicy? Out of curiosity. Just wondering. Where was I? Yes. I need oak. I need a pile of oak. I need a pile of oak that I don't currently have. At least we got rice. That's something. There we go. There's some oak. Oh, the hiccups are real? Great. Grand. I thought that might be the case. But I'm glad you confirmed that. Oh dear. That is unfortunate. That is highly suboptimal, one might say. Raisin toast with peanut butter. Interesting. Not a combination that I would necessarily go for, but I can see why people might like that. It seems really slow for some reason. Oh well. Don't mind me just jumping into the saw blades like an absolute maniac. With cheese on top of the peanut butter on raisin toast? Or just cheese on top of raisin toast? Because, I mean, cheese on top of raisin toast sounds weirder than it is. Like, it is a classic Dutch thing where at, like, every funeral, and also some other things, cheese on top of the peanut butter. Yeah, that's kind of weird. But you know, if you like it, good for you. But as I was saying, it is a classic Dutch thing to get like raisin buns, and then you put like butter and a layer of Gouda, and like you just serve it cold. It is so good. For some reason, it always gets served at funerals too. I don't know why. That's just the thing that happens at Dutch funerals. Or I should say Dutch Canadian. I don't know if it happens in the Netherlands as well. Just one of those weird things. I don't think your funeral could have anything but mac and cheese. Given your diet. It just wouldn't be fair. Your funeral should be sponsored by Kraft Dinner. Okay, now my neck is tired. Okay, where... Okay, Elizabeth is still here, doing nothing. Katie always has black specks in it. I think those are spices. I very much doubt it's mold. How are your stats? Adaptability, okay. Agility 14, okay. Mana 8, not so great. Athletics 21, okay. Really? Interesting. Not according to Google. Huh. I don't know what to make of that. What does he want from me? Lapis. I can't afford lapis. He wants books. Okay. Adaptability 20. Okay, that's... yeah, that's pretty good. And that's 33 books. Okay. I'll get some books. Oh, we don't need the apples either. Where are all my redstone torches? There they are. Chuck the flint in there too. Somewhere in here, I have a bunch of white wooden beds. There we go. Eight andesite, 1 chest. Andesite. Do we have quartz dirt anywhere? There's 5. Do we need more? Yes. Oak door, oak sign. Crafting table, chest. Very chill. I appreciate that. I always appreciate a good chill song. The reason I included it on this playlist was probably precisely because it was so chill. So, yes, fair is fair. We needed 20, so that's 16. There we go, 24. Boom. And where are you getting all these transfers from? Do we have a courier? I mean, I'm not gonna complain if we do. Maybe Elizabeth is actually starting to be useful. What a shocker that would be. There we go, that ought to be enough, and it looks like it is. Did Elizabeth finally grow up, become useful? No. You're just hungry. And I have no food on me. I'll be right back.
Not good enough, eh?
Okay, skip the chit-chat. Fulfill, 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 fulfill. Fulfill. Fulfill, fulfill. Okay, so we still need oak planks, oak fence, oak log. I have a bunch of oak log on me, but apparently not enough. That's annoying. Let's try the warehouse. Maybe there's some in there. Now we need more oak logs. Speaking of oak logs, how's the tree farm coming? Any of those grown? Yes. Exactly one of them. Right, and whoever that was. Francisco, I believe. It was Francisco that was hungry. And there was somebody who wanted books. So we were gonna get books for him so he would join us. Apparently we have no bread in here. No bread in this his house. There's 3 bread, that's definitely not enough, but hey, that's just a theory. Oh, wait. I can... A Josh theory, indeed. And, I mean, what other kind of theory would you really want, realistically? Correct answer, most. A Josh theory is not widely accepted, for good reason. In most scientific circles. Okay, Elizabeth. Grow up already. I mean that in the most literal way possible. I will work on it. Okay, you want food? Eat. Eat, child. I demand it. Hi, what do you
Let's
want?
build it again?
Open request. Fulfill, fulfill, fulfill. Fulfill. Boom. Your requests are fulfilled. Get fulfilled. And we still need more. Ah, they always want more. Let's hear my thoughts on, some topic. Some topic, you say. What topics do I have to speak on that a general audience might be interested in hearing about? Tell you what, how about I glance at my bookshelf? Oh, and the first thing that stuck out to me was Silverberg's Chemistry, the Molecular Nature of Matter and Change, which is an apt title, considering it's, you know, a book about chemistry, which is in fact the study of matter and how it changes. Unfortunately, I don't have very many opinions on chemistry other than that it's dope. So that was perhaps not the most enlightening conversation topic I could have picked by random. Yeah, I'll see if I can find something a little more apropos. What else do I need? Okay, actually don't need those signs or those doors. I do need more fences and more slabs and more logs. Well, I don't need more logs, but I can use more logs. Because I need more logs to do more of everything else. Right, and I was going to make more books. My thoughts on what my least favorite architectural design. I mean, I don't... Okay, so... For my least favorite architectural design. In specific, Century Park Station in Edmonton is awful. It's not so much like an architecture issue, so much as just, in general, the design of Century Park Station. I don't know what whoever was designing it was thinking or smoking when they were doing it. They just... I don't think they were, is the problem. I don't think they were thinking. Because if you use more than 2 brain cells at a time, a lot of the issues with Century Park Station are just so easy to have been avoided. And, like, Century Park Station is not without its merits. Like, there are parts of that station that are genuinely... Like, I don't think there is a better way of doing it in the situation for which it is given. Like, some of it is brilliant design, and other parts of it are just so bafflingly stupid. That's the issue. There, like, right next to each other, you have this one part that's just so genius, and you're like, you know, it's not a perfect way of having, like, traffic and people and buses all interweave together, but I also don't think that there's any other better way of doing it, probably. Like, in an ideal world, things would be different, but this is probably the most optimum solution given the situation that this transit station is in. And then directly next to it is, like, just things that are so abysmally stupid that they make zero sense whatsoever. Like, the fact that they have this big pedway over the road, which, that makes sense. But the problem with this pedway is that we live in Alberta, right? And the thing about Alberta is that it has very cold winters. So what they decided to do is with this pedway, instead of having windows that are like sealed, like, you know, a normal person would do, what they decided to do is they have windows that are staggered, like, from the rest of the building by like this much, and there's just a grate, which means that the entire pedway is just completely open to the outside air, which means that the temperature inside the pedway is the exact same temperature as it is outside the building. But they still pay to heat this end of the pedway and this end of the pedway, and just the inside, they're like, screw it. Why seal? Why keep this warm too? It just makes no sense. And that's just, like, I have started writing down in OneNote, like, all of the ways in which Century Park Station is just so abysmally stupid, because one day I might make a video about it, because it is bad. It is so bad. As far as my least favorite, like, style, more general, I think it has to be brutalism. I just have so little respect for it. It's so disgusting. Brutalism was like really popular in like the 70s-ish, and there's a big ish on that, and it's like all these massive concrete blobs. It is super popular across a lot of Edmonton area, especially in like, it's really popular in institutional settings, so universities, hospitals, government centers. So like a really great example, if you've ever been to like legislature area, not the legislature itself, the legislature itself is gorgeous, but a lot of the like transit buildings and other of these smaller governmental facilities and buildings around that area all have that brutalist style, where they have like this just super gross, disgusting, large concrete blobs and dark glass, and I don't know who thought it was a good idea. There, as far as I can tell, there seems to be no redeeming qualities to brutalism, like, as a style. I don't, maybe there's something beautiful about it, I don't get it. Anti-homeless designs, I understand why they exist, but they're also, like, actively evil. And the thing is, they're not just evil towards homeless people. Like, one of the things that we often don't think about, but I have heard cited as a design feature specifically to target homeless people, is like the slats in benches. Often they'll make large gaps between the slats in benches, and they'll also make the seats out of conductive material, which means that bench seats end up colder, which means that homeless people are less likely to sleep on them. The only problem is, we live in Alberta, and homeless people are not the only people who use those benches. So then, like, if you have an ordinary person using that bench too, they're like, this is a terrible bench. So you don't make a terrible bench just for homeless people. You make a terrible bench for everyone. Why? Just make a good bench. Just make a good bench. It's not that hard. The expectations for how good a bench will be are very low. It does not take very much to make an adequate bench. and there are people, like, you have to try to make a bad bench, which is exactly what they do in these situations. And it takes more effort to make an unintentionally bad bench that intentionally disadvantages homeless people, and also is a worse experience for everyone else who might use that bench, when you could just, not be terrible, stupid, and evil. It's that easy. he would be good. But is he good as a knight? Let's find out. I forget what the knight values are. It's adaptability and... adaptability and... who else? Adaptability and stamina. Okay, so he's really not a very good knight. Archer is adapt and agile. So he's definitely a better archer. Yeah. I mean, I never understand why anyone would think, oh, hey, I've got a brilliant idea. Let's have a metal seat. Just never make your seats out of metal. Plastic is cheaper. It's probably easier to work with. It's not going to be much less durable. And like there's just metal's just such a terrible material for seats because it gets hot in summer when you don't want it to be hot, and it gets cold in winter when you don't want it to be cold. And I mean, plastic does have that issue too, but less. And a lot of the time, that's what matters. That just doing the best that you can do. Woman bench? Isn't that... Oh, wooden bench. Yeah, wooden benches are good, but they are more expensive because wood is harder to work with, and they also require more maintenance. So, wood is, like... It has, in general, approximately similar insulative properties to plastics. Or at least a lot of the plastics that would get used. There's not a lot of difference. Wooden benches are definitely higher quality materials because wood is a higher quality material in general. But as soon as it's higher quality, comes with higher maintenance costs and higher costs in general, which makes it less appealing to cities. Although I would like to see the concept for a woman bench. I don't know how that would be different from an ordinary bench. So I'd be curious to see that, because there was that one chair that somebody made that had like it was like the anti-man spreading chair, and then you would flip it around, and then like you would woman spread instead. But like it was weird. An entire woman, but you could just sit on her. Yeah, just actual human furniture. Yeah, that would go over really well, I'm sure. Just hire people to be your furniture. When in doubt, just hire someone to be your furniture. There are zero ethical or any other quandaries with that. Where do we have any bows? Hire them, enslave them. I mean, what? Yeah. I mean, if you're paying them money, then there's less of an ethical quandary, because, like, then they're agreeing to it, you know? So, like, yeah, it's bad, but it's, like, not that bad, you know? Or something. Affects speed, accuracy, range, and damage output. The Edmonton Balls, what are my thoughts? Not a fan. they cost so much money, and they don't. Number one, they don't do anything. Number two, so like they have no functional purpose, which art doesn't necessarily need to have. But when I'm justifying artistic things, I like them to also have a certain amount of functionality to them as well. I like, because here's the thing with art budgets. Instead of using your art budgets to make standalone structures that look nice but don't do anything, what you could also do is allocate some of your art budget towards making things that are functional look better. And I think that would be a much better use of it. Why did they do it? I have no idea. I at one point I had heard that like they needed more. They had like this art budget set aside and they needed to do something with it or something. I don't know the accuracy of that. But the thing is, like, aside from not serving a functional purpose, they're super out of the way for any kind of pedestrian activity, which means that they end up, like, the only way that people are going to really see them is either as a car, which they're in a very bad position for anyhow, or if somebody decides to walk to them explicitly to walk to them, basically. And they're far enough away that people aren't going to do that. So they're not very accessible. I agree, they should have made a statue of Sam and Josh instead. That would have been a better use of art funds. At least it would have looked nice. Or maybe it wouldn't have, but at least then it would have inspired greatness in people. So then it would have a functional purpose, you know?
I serve with pleasure.
But the other thing is that, like, so they're not functional. They aren't accessible. They aren't particularly good to look at, like, anyhow. Like, from an artistic perspective, sure, you can make an argument that, oh, there's yada yada yada, and it's a criticism of whatever, and nobody cares. Nobody freaking cares. If it doesn't look good, nobody cares. Like, I will admit, they are very shiny, and I appreciate that. But also, that's the one thing they have going for them. They're shiny, and that's it. Do you know how easy it is for things to be shiny? It is not that hard. So, like, yeah, just being shiny is not enough, especially because they're all shiny. So there's no kind of interesting shapes or anything like that. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, so they're mostly accessible to cars, but there's only, like, the on-ramp onto, what is that, the White Mud? From Fox Drive or something? It's like that one on-ramp, you have a great view of them. And everywhere else, you see, like, this much. You're like, just a little tip. It's like, what's even the point? And so, yeah, it's truly baffling how somebody ever thought that was a good idea. And personally, if I was on city council, I would say, hey, let's melt these balls down and sell them as scrap. And we'll take the proceeds from that and use it for something more useful. And, like, you can still keep it for an art budget, but, like, maybe instead of using that art budget on a random statue of balls that has no meaning, no purpose, nobody to see it. So it has no meaning, no purpose, no audience. Nothing to say. It has no message either. Like, instead of something like that, which checks off none of the boxes of, like, any artistic work at all, you could then dedicate those proceeds to doing something actually good. Because Edmonton has places where you could put nice art. Like, there's so many places where good art would be well appreciated. That place is not one of them, and that is not art that's useful to it. To your wallet. That would be a fair... That would also be a much better use of the funds. I agree. Or like, you know, maybe that library that they totally redid the facade for, and everyone was like, thanks, I hate it. Understandably so. maybe take the proceeds from the silver balls and use it to redesign that facade that doesn't work in its context. Researchers just unraveled the mystery of first aid. That's exciting. Yeah, honestly, I feel like the artistic world, in general, needs some kind of a wake-up call. True. Hey, City of Edmonton, can we donate the silver balls to Ukraine? I will melt them down into ammunition. Melt them down. I don't know. The silver balls get donated. Yeah. Yeah, some truly baffling decisions. But hey. There was a thing I was doing. We still need 22 oak fences. Bunch of oak logs, oak stairs, oak slabs. Yikes. Why did I come over this way? Oh dear. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. The artistic world in general seems to be in a really weird space right now, where there's not really a lot of like, there's a lot of art conversations that
Not good enough, eh?
have this massive disconnect between the art world and like everybody else. So like you have these artists who are like, wow, I have such great ideas and plans, and this is going to be a really really interesting piece of some kind. And a lot of ordinary people are like, yeah, but what's the point? Because the way that most people think about art is they're like, hey, art is supposed to primarily look good. And I'm not saying all art has to look good, but that they're right in that is a really big use case for art, that it looks good. And another thing is like a lot of the best artworks in human history they're not just art, you know? Like the what's a good example? The Pantheon in Rome is a great example where, like, is it an artistic masterpiece? Yes, but it's so much more than just an artistic masterpiece. And a lot of artists seem to be focusing on art for art's sake, or maybe they have art for a social point. And you know, some of those socially conscious art practices are more useful than others. A bench that warms up when you fart. Isn't that every bench? I think that's just a bench. Just a regular bench. Yeah, but in general, it seems to me like there's a big disconnect between what artists think art is supposed to be and what regular people think art is supposed to be, and that disconnect and I think that right now because the art world can afford to be separate from the rest of the world, in a certain sort of way, because you have the arts who are academically distant from a lot of other disciplines. Like, they're in many ways very, very disconnected. A lot of them, not all of them, to be sure, but a lot of artists are very, very disconnected from other disciplines, and there's a certain amount of logic to that as well. But that isolation also means that, I'm saying words and not expressing the ideas that I have. In part because I don't really understand the ideas that I have. But in general, like, I think that the art world needs to come to terms with the fact that right now it is really self-important, and it thinks it is much more important than it actually is. It is not artists that are pushing society forward. It is technologists, it is scientists, it is engineers, and it's ordinary people who are working hard and trying to make a living. It's not artists. Like, do artists have a role to play in future society? Yes. Is it the role that they seem to think that they should play, which is almost like a sort of the visionaries who will be bringing humanity into a brighter future? I don't think so. I think it's like, you know what it is? It's Steve Jobs. Because Steve Jobs was not an engineer. He was not a scientist. He was primarily like an artist. And he changed he is the face of Silicon Valley techno-optimism, artistic, everything that Apple does is primarily about aesthetics and looking good, and like how they design technology is more about how it looks than how it performs, which in many ways is so backwards, but has also led them to a lot of really good places because they've been so focused on how it looks. And that does make a difference for a reason. Like, it's not that people don't care how things look, but part of that is that the rest of the art world has also gotten caught up in this, and this idea that, if Steve Jobs, who is primarily an artist, has this tremendous influence over the whole world, via Silicon Valley and all that, then of course, obviously, artists must have this massive visionary role, Steve Jobs-esque role to play in society. Like, the artistic class has to be, is going to fulfill that same role to the world that Steve Jobs did, basically. And I don't think that's true. Steve Jobs was primarily successful not because he was an artist, but because he was really good at finding people who knew what they were doing. Like, that's the biggest thing that he did for Apple, was know who to go to. Was he a visionary? Yes. But like, his real skill set was finding people who knew what they were doing. And I think that that's part of the lack of understanding of the artistic community, is not realizing that that artists don't actually have all, or even most, or even perhaps many of the answers. Like, they certainly don't have all the answers. They probably don't have most of the answers. They barely have some answers, So, to a certain extent, you have to know when to find somebody who's, like, your goal as an artist should be more so looking for people who can push society forward. Because it's not going to be you. Or at least it's not going to be primarily you. You have a role to play in that. Everyone has a role to play in pushing society forwards. But it's a role played by, yeah. Oh no. If Piran is here as well. Thankfully, these pirates have terrible aim. Oh dear. This is something of a problem. Okay, so I somehow need to get up on that ship. Do I have blocks? I got blocks. Brick. I paid a bunch of books for that guy. You a-holes.
Who wants to fight? I'll be back.
Did I destroy all the spawners? Frick, no I haven't. Frick, there's at least one more. Come on. This is the worst location for this pirate ship to spawn. Would I ever move somewhere that had no technology? I mean, technically everywhere has some technology, but possibly. It would be a difficult decision. But yeah, I have actually at various points considered moving to somewhere like what's Rwanda. I think Rwanda actually has a lot of promise. I don't think I have any plans to move there anytime like soon. But there's still more spawners? Where the heck can there be more spawners? But yeah, an internet connection is definitely important to me. But it's not all important. to me. Oh my frick. Hey, there's gotta be one last spawner, right? Frick, I need to defend the actual villagers, though. We'll see if more of them spawn, and hopefully not. Alright. Frick. Go hunt the pirates. Soccer or music? Good question. Both, I guess. Where are these pirates? Frick, where'd they go? They just disappeared? Okay, that's a squid. You have to jump on me.
I'll be back.
No, you won't. Right. Macerated is such a weird term since he's not wielding a mace. Sorry, the pirates are sort of dominating my attention right now. I will answer your questions more once I have that sorted.
Say that you're leaving, thin as a shadow. Don't walk away, don't walk away. There's still waters to travel.
Hey, that's just a zombie.
Filled it with flowers. We dug a hole, we dug a hole. Now we're
Did they just go around destroying doors?
went for a short walk. Found you some new shoes. I hope they fit, I hope they fit. Please let me tie them for you.
That seems to be exactly what they have done. They don't do anything effective, they just destroy the doors. Okay, at least we can sleep and have it not rain. Maybe there's some across the bridge at the university. On the mast, of course. Frick. Forgot to look up. Ow. Come on. There we go. Am I out of... Where's my rice? Frick. And I'm being shot at again. But I need my rice. And I just let it despawn. Nice, so now I have no food. The Archer Pirates are perhaps the most annoying.
I'll be back.
Yeah, hurry up and run. Freaking moron.
I'll be back.
Really hope you won't.
I'll be back.
Why do you get to shoot and also break down the door at the same time?
I'll be back.
Oh, at least I got him too. Okay, now it's time to loot this thing. Okay, would you ever move to somewhere that had no technology? I mean, aside from, like, I know what you're saying, but, I mean, technically, the wheel and fire are technology, and Stone Age tools, also technologies. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, like, a third world country sort of deal. Developing economy. Undeveloped economy, rather. If it was really nice and I was super wealthy. I mean, the thing is, it would not be super nice. Although there are certain places that I would love to live more in. Like Bermuda is a developing economy rather than an undeveloped or developed economy. So it's like, it's not very well industrialized, but it's not like they have poor quality services either. So you can definitely have a really high standard of living in Bermuda. It's not quite the same as living in a fully developed nation like US or Canada. Like internet is much worse. Since they are on an island, the cost of living is really high. The other thing is that there's no naturally occurring freshwater sources on Bermuda. So how they collect their freshwater is actually from rainwater. So they all have these very characteristic white roofs, and they're these very clean, very highly polished, because that's where you get your water from. It goes into a storage tank, and then you have some filtration systems in there and stuff to keep it clean. But I mean, so long as your roof is clean, so is your water, basically. So yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna want to add some chlorine and stuff to keep it from festering, but yeah, it's very interesting, and it's a lovely place, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful there. If you ever get the chance to go, I would definitely recommend it. It's gorgeous. There's so much history as well. It's one of the most historied places in North America. I mean, it's more historied in sort of a European sense, because you know it's a European colony. They say they're not technically a colony, but that's based on a technicality based on a certain definition. But by the common definition of a place where Europeans settled that isn't Europe, it's definitely a colony. It's just that there's no naturally occurring people there. There's no indigenous people to Bermuda because there's no fresh water. So yeah, even though it was within, it was totally within the grasp of the indigenous people of the Americas to go to Bermuda, there was just no reason to stay, which meant that when the Europeans came, that they were the first ones there, basically. I'm sorry, I can't read Cyrillic. But anyhow, I assume that's a statement of support or perhaps contempt. I don't honestly know, and to clarify, I won't. So I'm just going to go right back to talking about living in an undeveloped or developing nation, like Bermuda. Bermuda is developing, as I said, instead of undeveloped, and I would definitely recommend it. It's beautiful. It's as old as many places in Europe. Yeah, just really gorgeous, really fantastic, and yeah, fascinating history. So much history there. So yeah, would definitely recommend taking a visit if you can. But yeah, I have considered at some point, one of like my long-term dreams is to sort of be a part of industrializing Africa. And I think Rwanda has really great promise in that, in particular. Like, lots of different nations could be really important in Africa's industrialization, and let's be real, Africa does not have great food resources because it's like, Africa is huge, so this is speaking generally, but in general, there is less water available for agriculture in Africa. That's not like true of all of Africa, because there are definitely parts of Africa that are very wet, perfect for agriculture. But in general, a lot of Africa is not very well suited to agriculture, which means that if you're going to have an economy, you can't rely on agriculture for that economy, and therefore, industrialization makes a lot of sense for Africa. In part because, like, they're so close to minerals. Africa is so wealthy in terms of its mineral reserves. Like, there are just so many rare metals that are difficult to find outside of Africa, in many places, and therefore it makes sense that Africa, logically, if we were thinking as humanity of utilizing the whole globe optimally, it would make sense to make much of Africa a manufacturing hub, more than anything else, because it can't do agriculture very well, or at least many parts of it cannot do agriculture very well, and so whatever isn't good at agriculture, it's probably well suited to manufacturing, so it makes sense. So yeah, the problem is my sort of dream to be a part of that industrialization is I'd like to build a steel mill in a country like Uganda or Rwanda, and those countries in particular because Uganda and Rwanda are less corrupt than a lot of other African nations. So I know there's people who refute this, but I think that those two nations in particular show a lot of promise, and they would make excellent investments. The problem is steel mills are so expensive. Like, I figure I would probably have to have over $1 million before it would even be worth it to start thinking about it, basically. So yeah, that's likely not going to happen anytime soon. And even with $1 million, that's probably not enough to make a very large steel mill. So yeah, it would have to expand. It would be a massive investment to start with, massive capital cost, and then I would need more, basically, that's fine. But I would probably need to partner with other investors as well. The other thing is, even though, like, that's sort of a fanciful dream of mine, to build an iron mill, build a steel mill in a place like Rwanda. I was going somewhere with this. So even though it's a bit of a dream of mine, it's not something that I have any expertise in like any part of that project. So I'm not sure that I would be the guy to really contribute in any way. Is the big deal. Do I have an axe? I do have an axe. Okay, next question. Would I rather play soccer or play music? For the rest of my life, if I had to pick one. Man, that's such a tough decision. I think I have to go with music. Because music is one of those things that I sort of always play around with. Soccer is one of those things that I love it, but it's not so... I guess it's not something that I do quite as frequently. It's more like if there's a dedicated space for soccer, then I do soccer. But if there's not a dedicated space for it, I often don't end up doing it. I don't know why that is necessarily, but sometimes that's just the way it is, and yeah. So I guess I would give up soccer for music if I had to do one. And yes, CJ did just die at that point of time. And once again, still don't read Cyrillic. So I know the tags say Ukraine, but that's because we're raising money for Ukraine. Okay, whew. That was a lot of talking. Where's my water? Okay, I feel like this has been a great stream. Lots of good things happened. Dies at the hands of Anil, indeed. Yeah. This has been one of the more interesting live streams to do for sure. In part because of your participation, so thank you very much. But yeah, a lot of these ideas are ones that I've been sort of sitting on for a while in one form or another, so it was good to sort of talk about them. And I realize that some of them are more controversial than others, to be sure. So some of my warmer takes are definitely in this one, but I think there's definitely something there to consider. And obviously, like, a lot of these ideas that I've been throwing around, and I don't necessarily have the right words to say at this juncture in time. And these also aren't ideas that are fully formed. They're sort of things that I've been mulling over, and now I'm trying to put them into words, and I'm not always good at translating the words that sort of like the ideas that I have. Sometimes they don't always translate as well as I would like them to in the heat of the moment sort of deal. And also, like, I haven't said everything about every single one of my ideas. There's space for more. There's some of them have more nuance, I think. Some of them maybe less. Some of them maybe I made sound like they had more nuance than they actually did. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, none of those ideas I think are set in stone. So before anyone tries to cancel me on Twitter for saying that we should industrialize Africa because it's not good at agriculture, yeah, there's more nuance in some of those statements. Would I ever live with Sam? Heck yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, right now, it doesn't necessarily make sense to, in part because we're so close together all. Far away. I mean, frick. Yeah, since our towns are close together, and that means that we can basically see each other as we want to. Especially because he has his own car, and both of us are capable of driving, and yeah, so it's not a big issue, and it just makes more sense to live at home with my parents right now, for financial reasons, and then drive or commute as necessary. But yeah, I would totally live with Sam. What does this decoration controller do? The schematic is already at the highest. Search for another victim, of course. Cowards. Wait, is there a way that I can... Fortunately, there's not a way for me to, like, put a marker for myself. Need to make a note to myself. Edit out city name. And what is today? April 3rd. Okay. I'll just clip out that tiny little thing. Because it's just one word. Easy. Okay. I still have things in my inventory, man. So disorganized. Okay, let's also get rid of some of the deaths. That was actually a struggle. We lost the guy who had books. The guy who we paid books for. At least we paid books, so not as bad as it could have been.
I get to build it again?
Oh, you're just a good all-rounder. Dang. You wanted hay bales? Okay.
Not good enough, eh?
Adaptability and stamina. Okay. Sunflowers and hay bales. Okay, let's make 2 more hires. Let's go. Where's my sunflowers? There's my sunflowers. There's my hay bales. Okay, so Gibbs is still alive. Is she working though? Guess let's go find out.
Not good enough, eh?
Oh yes.
I get to build it again?
Fondest memory of No Sock and I. Good question. Honestly, there's so many. One of them for sure is the time that we decided to make a cookie chessboard. I think it was grade 9. And yeah, I think it may have been my idea, because at that point in time, I was super into chess. Briefly. Which is kind of weird. I still enjoy chess. I was never super, super good at it. And like, I didn't get all technical to the level that a lot of like chess grandmasters, and like, if you want to be a grandmaster or whatever, then yeah, you have to really study, and I did not study anywhere near to that extent. But yeah, we built a chessboard out of 2 different flavors of cookie. I think one was like ginger snap and one was sugar cookie, and then we like we put all these little checks together and they expanded in the oven. It was cool. And then we went to the store and bought way too much candy and made all the little chess pieces, and then on Monday we brought it into school, and I think we played 1 game with it, and then we started handing it out to our classmates to eat. That was a good time. How long have we been best friends? I'm not sure if we were best friends when we were in grade 6 or not. We were definitely friends in grade 6, and that was the year that we met as well. But in grade 8, for sure, we were definitely best friends. Sam was definitely my best friend in grade 8. Because we went to the same school in grade 6, and that's when I met him. And then he went to a different school in grade 7. And then in grade 8, then he came back. And then for sure, yeah. That year for sure he became my best friend, if he wasn't already. Which he may have been. I don't honestly know. I can't remember if he was my best friend before or not. But yeah. Lots of good times.
Not good enough, eh?
Eh, your stats are mediocre, especially for diamonds.
I get to build it again?
There was that other lady, though. She wanted hay bales, and her stats were really well rounded. Was it you? I think it was.
I get to build it again?
Yes.
Not good enough, eh?
I have a warehouse. It's right there.
Not good enough, eh?
Oh, yeah. You were no good. Okay, now we actually have citizens. I think she just wanted like 18 or something. Yes? You have influenza. Of course you do. Do not fall in the water. You will probably die. Why do you have a bow? You don't need a bow. Frickin' Callum.
I serve with pleasure.
Yeah, your stats are good too.
I
Yeah.
serve with pleasure.
$19 and 10. 12 and 10. 14 and 15. Ooh. Anything that drives me up the walls lately. Not in particular. Things are chill. Get bar staple in here. Who's our second best? Manual, employed. You know, that's a good question. I'm not entirely sure what sort of expression that is. So she's on 28. 29, she's already a builder though. 16. I already have her doing other things though. So that's 28. 29. Okay, yeah. So she's good. You have influenza still. What the frick? I gave you the... What? Did Mother Nature fight back? No. No, I was pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I have some leg pain, I guess. A little bit. Like my right calf in like the front. Right here. Sort of deal. Right there. There's some soreness there, but... Man, I'm awkward. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't help. I didn't fall nearly as much as you guys did, so... What is Natalie building? Excellent. We have somebody researching. My favorite thing about the friend group. Oh gosh, that's so hard. I mean, I think one of the things that I really appreciate about the friends that I have is that they're willing to tell me when I'm wrong, you know? Not everybody has friends like that, and it is so invaluable to have friends who will tell you, hey man, you're wrong, you're being dumb. And yeah, I just appreciate it so much that I have friends who are willing to say to me, hey, stop being dumb. Okay, so that's a 26. 22, and she's a builder. 27. Um, 32, but she's a builder. She's a good builder at that. I should actually get my researchers researching. Yeah, there are certain people I have noticed who do not seem to have somebody like that in their life, and it shows. I will name no names, but yeah, it really makes a big difference when you know that they're telling you sort of like out of love, that it's that there's still that level of trust that you have with them, that they're like, hey, because we are friends, that's why I'm telling you that you're wrong, or at least that I think you're wrong. Yeah, and I always really appreciate that about the friends that I have. It's a wonderful thing to be able to disagree with people, especially civilly. Oh my word. I realize that, like, some people might think that's a strange thing to like about your friend group, that you can disagree, but honestly, it makes such a big difference to have people to disagree with you. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of our society is missing right now, that there's people who are intentionally shutting out any opinions other than their own, and like, anyone who disagrees with you has to be villainized. Like, you can't just disagree and talk about it civilly, and it's such a shame. Which one of my villagers needs assistance? Ah. We got somebody in a guard tower. Thought I reassigned her, though. Why are there so many mobs over there? It is 2 a.m. Yikes, I should stop. Okay, well, I don't see any actual mobs here, so guess that's good. I wish there was a way to... Is there a research scroll? Or something like that? There's got to be something in Mine Colonies for keeping track of what research there is to be done. That's a worrying sign. There we go. Okay, and now we're suddenly in create. Okay, yes. Farmer's Delight. Immersive Engineering. More Immersive Engineering. I mean, I like hazelnut chocolate for sure. In my s'mores, I'm not really so here or there on it. I think in part because, you know, I just like eating marshmallows. Like, I do like s'mores as well, but I also just like eating marshmallows. Okay, where is the...
Yo, check out this Wandering Trader's sword trade. It's pretty cool.
I know, I saw it. It's kind of insane. Okay, so there's not some scroll or something to keep track of the research. That would be handy. Your sister says hi.
Sorry, I walked right out of range.
Your sister says hi.
Hi, sister. Can't tell which sister this is, but hi.
Least favorite chocolate? Oh, man. I mean, I've definitely had some bad chocolate in my time. I can't name any specifically. I can't recall any specifically. Just like, yeah, I definitely tend to prefer a darker chocolate over a fruit in chocolate. Yeah, I'm fine with fruit in chocolate. Yeah, I'm just gonna ban you, Jax TV. Get out of my chat. 98% it's a bit much, but you know, it's also like, so long as you go slowly, then I can enjoy 98%. But yeah, you do have to go slowly with it, and it takes a while to build up to. Fruit and chocolate for sure. Love fruit and chocolate. I think it, yeah. My aunt lives in New Zealand, and one time she sent us like some pear chocolate from New Zealand, and it was so good. Like, pear is not a thing that you normally think of pairing with chocolate, no pun intended. But it works, or at least it worked that time. And I think it was like pear and honey and chocolate or something. Whatever it was, it worked well. I remember enjoying it. What is she even building? What the heck are those noises? Thoughts on country music? No. Ex-nay. I have never heard a country music song that I liked. Like, I've heard many that I will put up with. I've never heard one that I liked. That, like, there's a lot of country music that is bearable, and that seems to be the that seems to be the ceiling for country music. Bearable. Like, I don't like pop music either, but at least pop music is, like, mostly bearable, and some of it is good, and some of it is bad. Country music is, like, it's all either bad or bearable. Bearable is as good as you get. I don't know. I think part of it as well is just the voices. Just, I don't know what it is about the voices in country music, but they just grate on me. And yeah, I can't stand it. This song is called Aerosol of My Love, but it's like a bit of a play on words, according to the website, because aerosol sounds like there is all. So it's like Aerosol of My Love, because it's 80s, Hairspray, all that jazz, but also there's all of my love, you know? Minecraft. No, no contest. I like Smash Bros. But I love Minecraft. Minecraft is one of those games that I will always come back to. And like, it's one of those games as well where, like, even if there are other things that I want to do, I will still play Minecraft. And it's also one of those games that, like, I just play by myself, whether there's other people or not. Definitely other people, I play more Minecraft if there are other people. Okay, you need food too. Okay, sure, yeah. I'll get you food. But Smash Bros. Is like a game that I only play with friends, in part because the only way I have to play with it is with friends, but yeah, there's... Yeah, I will play Minecraft for the rest of my life. Smash Bros, maybe not. Survival for sure. Although I do love creative as well. Minigame, like, there are definitely certain minigames that I do enjoy, but you know, it's not real man's Minecraft, you know? It's Faker Daker Minecraft. You won't believe it's not Minecraft. Not really,
good enough,
but...
eh?
This is Guildford. We'll move Guildford into this elf. I like to play Minecraft like I like to play most of my games, as sort of a as a single player plus. Guildford. Homeless. Current work distance 1,000 blocks. Oh wait, but those are the... Okay. Natalie Barstaple is a builder. Okay. Right. Yeah, so a lot of the games that I enjoy most are single player plus, where I can play them by myself, but then I can also play them with friends. Because I find that those games in general lend themselves much better to the sort of things that I like to do. Because I do genuinely get a lot of enjoyment from playing Minecraft with other people and playing other games with other people. But I also just like being able to chill out in games and just be by myself, basically. What exactly are you building? So Natalie N is building Citizen 2. Alyssa Gibbs. Alyssa, can you... No, not this one. Alyssa, it would be great for you to upgrade the house directly behind it, which is spruce. Okay, we'll go ahead and get these queued up so we don't have homeless villagers. Least many. It's really hard to pin down any single song that is my least favorite of all time. There are just so many that are objectively, I suppose not objectively, but there are just so many songs that are so terrible. That, yeah, I could never enjoy. And so I don't. But yeah, it's really hard to pin down any one song that is my least favorite in particular. I'll tell you which song is not my least favorite. This one right here. I'm pretty proud of this one, actually. Something I'm looking forward to. I'm actually looking forward to starting work again. I know that might seem strange to some people, but yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to work at the Botanic Gardens again. We're almost out of rice again. Okay, what do I have for you? There's that. I mean, there are other things I'm looking forward to as well, but that in particular is as one in the immediate short term that I'm looking forward to. Right, campfires and beds. There's a black bed, there's a campfire. Do I need one for each? This one needs a gray bed and a black bed. I think we have a gray bed somewhere as well. There's another black bed. Oh, I actually didn't need a black bed. I needed a gray bed. Yes, thank you very much. I should also turn in soon. Thank you very much for tuning in, and yeah, oh my frick. I really appreciate all the questions, because yeah, it makes for a much more entertaining stream, I think. So yeah, I really do appreciate that. You know what? I should probably actually leave it here for today. It is quite late. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in, whether it was 10 seconds, 10 minutes, or perhaps even longer. And thank you especially to Taught Me iPatted. I never know if I'm saying that correct. She's an up-and-coming streamer. She's very cool. Her numbers are way better than mine because she's way cooler than me. She plays Kirby and probably some other stuff soon, so go check her out. Her schedule so far is kind of irregular, but who cares? She's dope. And yeah, she, I think, made this stream a lot more interesting, so thank you to her, and yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Please remember to donate to the Canadian Red Cross. You know, so that way we can do more crazy things, like shaving my head live on stream. Okay. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and I will catch you in the next one.